There are moments in life when faith feels distant, not broken, just buried. You pray, but your heart feels quiet. You try to focus, but your mind feels heavy. You want to come closer to Allah, yet something inside you feels disconnected. But Ibn Arabi reveals a truth that can change everything. You are not empty. You have never been empty. Inside you is a hidden power, a spiritual force placed in you by Allah Himself that can pull you out of doubt, rebuild your strength, and restore your faith from the inside out. Most people search for faith outside themselves. They look for it in lectures, in books, in people, in moments of inspiration. But the greatest light is not outside you. It is within you, waiting to be awakened. And once you discover this inner power, nothing in your life remains the same. Your heart begins to see differently. Your soul begins to breathe again. Your faith begins to rise with a strength you didn't know you had. Today we uncover the 7 powerful lessons Ibn Arabi taught about this hidden power and how it can bring your faith back to life, no matter how far you feel you've fallen. Ibn Arabi teaches that the human heart is not just a physical organ or an emotional center. It is a spiritual compass, created with an instinctive longing for its source. Even when you drift far, even when you become distracted by the world, your heart quietly keeps pulling you back toward Allah. This is why, in moments of loneliness or confusion, you suddenly feel a desire to pray. This is why, after days or months of neglect, a single verse or a single moment of silence can awaken something inside you. The heart remembers what the mind forgets. Your heart was created with a natural fitra, a purity that recognizes truth even when you are surrounded by noise. And no matter how much life overwhelms you, that inner purity never dies. It may become dim, it may become buried under stress, sins, and worldly attachments, but it never disappears. It waits patiently for you to pause long enough to hear it again. Faith does not vanish overnight. It becomes clouded slowly through distractions, pressure, and neglect. But the moment you turn inward, even for a brief second, you feel that quiet tug that says, "Come back." That pull is not weakness. It is mercy. It is the sign that your heart is still alive, still connected, still longing for the one who created it. You were not created to feel lost forever. You were not created to drift endlessly. Allah placed within you a guidance system more precise than any map, more dependable than any advice. Your heart's natural inclination toward Him. The moment you stop running and sit with yourself, even for a minute, that instinct awakens. It whispers reminders. It pushes you toward prayer. It softens you toward repentance. It lifts you toward hope, and that is the hidden power inside you. Your heart's design is the first sign that your faith can always be restored, because no matter what happens in your life, you will always be drawn back to the one who made you. Ibn Arabi teaches that the greatest transformations in a believer's heart do not come from long rituals or complex practices. They begin with sincerity. A single moment of honesty with Allah can succeed where months of empty effort fail. Sincerity is the spark that awakens the hidden power inside you, because it cleans the heart from the inside out. Most people try to restore their faith by forcing themselves into routines they are not emotionally ready for. They pressure themselves into perfection, then feel guilty when they fall short. But sincerity is different. It is gentle. It is simple. It is the quiet moment when you say, "Oh Allah, I truly want to come back." And in that moment, even before you change your habits, your heart shifts. Sincerity opens the doors that strength cannot. Ibn Arabi explains that when a person comes to Allah with even a small amount of genuine intention, Allah responds with immense mercy. He does not wait for you to become perfect. He accepts the smallest effort that is real. That acceptance itself becomes the fuel that raises your faith. Being sincere means admitting where you are. It means acknowledging your weakness instead of hiding it. It means turning to Allah as you are, not as who you think you should be. When the heart becomes sincere, prayers feel lighter, remembrance feels sweeter, and the desire for goodness grows naturally. Sincerity purifies the heart because it removes the layers of pretending. It makes you real again. It strips away the masks you wear for people and brings you back to your true self in front of Allah. And when the heart is real, it becomes soft enough for faith to enter. The hidden power inside you awakens the moment your intention does. You don't need to climb a mountain. You only need to take one honest step. Even a single sincere breath can bring you closer to Allah than years of robotic worship. Sincerity is the key that unlocks your spiritual power, and once that power awakens, your faith begins to rise without force, naturally, steadily, and deeply. One of the most powerful teachings of Ibn Arabi is that weakness is not something to be ashamed of. It is not a sign that your faith is broken. Instead, weakness is a doorway, a pathway that leads you to the place where divine strength begins. Most people assume that faith is only strong when they feel confident, disciplined, and spiritually consistent. But Ibn Arabi shows us that some of the strongest moments of faith begin when you feel your weakest. Weakness forces you to pause. It forces you to reflect. It strips away false confidence and brings you face to face with your dependence on Allah. When everything seems to fall apart, you finally see that the strength you relied on was never yours. It was always given. And when you realize this, your heart softens in a way that comfort could never create. Your weakness brings you closer to Allah than your strength ever did. Think about the moments you felt most lost, most confused, most overwhelmed. In those moments, your heart naturally turned upward. You whispered prayers you never prayed before. You sought guidance more sincerely than ever. You asked for mercy with a depth you never reached in happier times. This is why Ibn Arabi says, weakness is a divine invitation. It breaks the illusion that you can do everything alone. It exposes the cracks in your ego. It reminds you that you are a servant and that Allah is the one who carries you. When you feel weak, do not run from it. Look into it, because hidden inside that weakness is the voice of your soul calling you back. When the world pushes you to your knees, it is not pushing you down, it is positioning you to rise. Your weakness leads you to dua. Dua leads you to surrender. Surrender leads you to peace, and peace leads you to restored faith. You do not find Allah through your perfection. You find Him through your need for Him. This is the doorway your weakness opens, and once you walk through it, your faith begins to grow in ways you never imagined. Ibn Arabi teaches that nothing in your life is random. Every event, every delay, every loss, every blessing arrives with a purpose to guide your heart back to Allah. Faith is rarely restored in the ways you imagine. It is restored through moments that open your eyes, soften your heart, and break the illusions you relied on. Allah strengthens you through experiences that feel confusing at first, but revealing in time. There are moments when life feels unfair. A relationship ends, an opportunity slips away, a plan fails. You feel shaken, and you wonder why Allah would allow it. But what seems like disruption is often protection. What feels like loss is often redirection. Ibn Arabi explains that Allah uses the events of your life as medicine for your soul. Sometimes the cure feels bitter, but it heals a deeper wound you could not see. Faith grows through these unexpected turns. When Allah delays something you desperately want, It is not neglect, it is preparation. Maybe you are not ready yet. Maybe the thing you want is not what you think it is. Maybe Allah is shaping your heart to receive something greater. Delays strengthen patience, and patience strengthens faith. When Allah sends you grief or heartbreak, it softens the hard parts of your heart. It removes arrogance. It teaches you humility. It makes you gentle with others and honest with yourself. These experiences break you, but they break you open, allowing light to enter. And when Allah blesses you unexpectedly, when a prayer is answered without warning, when ease arrives after hardship, your heart remembers that He was listening all along. Gratitude becomes a bridge that reconnects you with Him, reminding you that faith is not just built in hardship, but also in joy. Every experience you face carries a message from Allah. Some messages wake you up, some slow you down, some push you forward, some bring you to your knees so you can rise again with a heart that sees more clearly. Your faith is restored, not by what you expected, but by what Allah knew you needed. Every event is a lesson, every turn is guidance, and every moment is a step bringing you back to Him. Ibn Arabi teaches that the heart is like a mirror, and your thoughts are the hands that either polish it or stain it. Most people focus only on their actions, but they forget that every action starts as a thought. A small idea, repeated enough times, becomes a belief. A belief becomes a habit. A habit shapes your character, and your character shapes your entire spiritual life. This is why purifying your thoughts is one of the most powerful ways to restore faith. Your mind is constantly speaking, even when your tongue is silent. It whispers fears, doubts, regrets, and worries. If you allow these thoughts to grow unchecked, they create an inner fog that darkens the heart. You begin to lose hope. You begin to lose trust. You begin to feel distant from Allah, even when He is close. But Ibn Arabi reminds us, the heart becomes receptive to divine light only when the mind stops feeding it negativity. Purifying your thoughts doesn't mean forcing them away. It means replacing them with better ones. It means choosing what you allow to stay. You cannot control every thought that enters your mind, but you can control which ones you nurture. When a thought of fear enters, bring in remembrance. Allah is enough for me. When a thought of despair rises, remind yourself, Allah's mercy is greater than my mistakes. When a thought of jealousy, pride, or anger appears, counter it with humility, gratitude, and compassion. This internal shift reshapes your entire spiritual landscape. Thoughts are seeds. You decide which ones grow. Ibn Arabi teaches that every thought that brings you closer to Allah cleans your heart. Every thought that distracts you from Him darkens it. This is not punishment. It is the natural design of the soul. The more you remember Allah, the stronger your inner power becomes. The more you forget Him, the heavier your heart feels. A purified mind becomes a gateway for divine guidance. Insights begin to appear. Clarity replaces confusion. Calmness replaces panic. You begin to sense right from wrong in ways you couldn't before. The world may stay chaotic, but inside you feel anchored and centered. Purifying your thoughts also means being gentle with yourself. Do not let your mind destroy your faith with self-blame or harshness. Allah does not expect perfection. He expects effort. He expects sincerity. And purifying your thoughts is an ongoing effort, a daily practice of choosing light over darkness, trust over fear, and hope over despair. When your thoughts rise, your faith rises. When your mind turns toward Allah, even for a moment, your heart follows, and the hidden power inside you begins to awaken. Because the one thing that weakens the soul the most is negative thinking, and the one thing that strengthens it the most is remembrance. Your spiritual power does not grow from the outside. It grows from the inside, through thoughts that lift you, thoughts that guide you, and thoughts that remind you that Allah is with you, even before you call upon Him. When your thoughts become pure, your heart becomes a home for faith again. Ibn Arabi teaches that inside every human being exists a light placed by Allah Himself. This light is not physical. It is not dependent on your mood, your achievements, or how others see you. It is a spiritual radiance, a reflection of the divine breath that was blown into your soul on the day you were created. This light is the deepest truth of who you are, and no darkness in the world can ever extinguish it. Even when life overwhelms you, something inside you still hopes. Even when you feel lost, something inside you still searches for direction. That something is your inner light, the part of you that remains connected to Allah, no matter how many times you stumble or fall. You may doubt yourself, but that light never doubts its creator. This is why, in your darkest moments, you feel a strange pull to pray, to cry out, to seek guidance, or to simply sit quietly and reconnect with your soul. That pull is not random. It is the light trying to guide you home. Ibn Arabi explains that darkness does not enter the heart because the light disappears. Darkness enters when the heart becomes distracted, covered, or neglected. But the beautiful truth is this: the light is still underneath. It is waiting to be uncovered. And the moment you remember Allah, even with a whisper, that light begins to glow again. Your light grows stronger through every hardship you face. Trials do not dim you, they shape you. Pain does not destroy you, it purifies you. Every time you endure something you thought would break you, your light becomes brighter. Every time you choose patience over anger, trust over fear, hope over despair, your light expands. This inner light is also the source of your spiritual resilience. You can lose wealth, relationships, opportunities, or comfort, but you cannot lose the light Allah placed inside you unless you choose to ignore it. And even then, the moment you turn back, it returns with warmth and clarity. Sometimes you think you are alone, but the light inside you proves that you never were. Allah gave you this light so you could walk through the storms of life without losing your way. It is a spiritual lantern that shines even when everything else around you is dark. Ibn Arabi reminds us that faith is not measured by how perfect you are. It is measured by how deeply this light continues to guide you, even when your outer world falls apart. You might feel broken, but your light is not broken. You might feel discouraged, but your light is not discouraged. You might feel exhausted, but your light is still alive, still calling you, still protecting you. And here is the greatest secret: every time you return to Allah, your light multiplies. It becomes stronger, clearer, more radiant. That hidden power inside you, the divine light, is what restores your faith, lifts your heart, and brings you back to who you truly are. Darkness may surround you, but it can never extinguish what Allah Himself lit within you. Ibn Arabi teaches that the greatest barrier to restored faith is not sin, failure, or weakness. It is forgetting who you truly are. Most people live their lives believing they are defined by their mistakes, their past, their wounds, or the opinions of others. They carry labels that were never meant to define them. They walk with identities that shrink their soul and bury their potential. And slowly, without realizing it, they lose sight of their original self. The self that Allah created with honor, dignity, and purpose. But beneath all the confusion, pain, and distraction, your true identity remains untouched. Ibn Arabi explains that the soul Allah breathed into you carries a divine origin. You are not merely a physical body walking through the world. You are a spirit shaped by His wisdom, guided by His mercy, and sustained by His presence. When you forget this, your faith becomes shaky. When you remember it, your faith rises instantly. To remember who you truly are is to remember that you were created to walk toward Allah, not away from Him. You were created to seek meaning, not emptiness. You were created to carry light, not darkness. But life often pulls you in the opposite direction. You face disappointment, heartbreak, rejection, and pressure. Over time, you begin to doubt yourself. You begin to feel unworthy. You begin to think that your flaws define you, but they don't set. They never did. Your mistakes are chapters, not your identity. Your sins are detours, not your destination. Your struggles are lessons, not your definition. Ibn Arabi says that the moment a believer remembers their divine origin, their heart awakens. A shift happens inside. Suddenly, the things that once broke you lose their power. The doubts that once chased you begin to fade. The fears that once consumed you become smaller, because you realize you were never weak. You were unaware of your strength. True faith returns when you reclaim the truth about yourself. You are a soul honored by Allah. You are a creation chosen to carry His light. You are a servant loved enough to be guided again and again. You are a heart designed to find its way home. When you remember these truths, something powerful happens. You stop treating yourself like a burden and start treating yourself like a soul with purpose. You begin to look at your life from a higher place. You understand that every hardship was preparing you, every delay was protecting you, every test was polishing you. None of it was random. And the moment you see your life through this lens, your faith begins to rebuild itself from the inside. Ibn Arabi says that the heart's greatest awakening happens when you stop asking, "Why am I like this?" and start asking, "Who did Allah create me to be?" When that question enters your heart, clarity follows. You begin to see your value not through the world's eyes, but through the eyes of the one who created you. Remembering who you truly are also means remembering who you belong to. You come from Allah, and you will return to Him. In between those two moments is a journey, and every step of that journey carries meaning. Some steps feel heavy, some steps feel confusing, some steps feel lonely, but every step is shaping your soul. You do not walk this journey as someone abandoned. You walk it as someone guided. You walk it as someone watched over. You walk it as someone loved by the most merciful. When you reclaim this truth, your faith stops depending on external circumstances. It no longer rises and falls with people, situations, or emotions. It becomes rooted in something deeper, in the knowledge that Allah is with you, within you, and guiding you. And that knowledge, once remembered, restores a type of faith that cannot be shaken. You were never meant to live disconnected from your source. You were never meant to define yourself by pain. You were never meant to forget your divine origin. Ibn Arabi reminds you that your true self is not found in the noise of the world, but in the stillness of your soul. And in that stillness, faith returns naturally. Faith returns when you remember you are more than your body. Faith returns when you remember you are more than your failures. Faith returns when you remember you are a soul created by Allah, guided by Allah, and sustained by Allah. This is the final and most powerful secret. Faith does not come from outside. It awakens from within. And the moment you remember who you truly are, the hidden power inside you rises. Your heart opens and your faith becomes alive once again. Your journey back to faith was never meant to be perfect. It was meant to be real. Ibn Arabi teaches us that the power you are searching for has always lived inside you, in your sincerity, in your weakness, in your longing, and in your ability to rise again, even when life feels heavy. Every trial you faced was shaping you. Every delay was preparing you. Every tear was cleansing you. Every moment you felt lost was guiding you back to the one who never left you. Your faith is not fragile, it is waiting. Your heart is not empty, it is awakening. The light inside you is not small, it is divine. If you take even one step toward Allah, your inner power begins to rise, and once that power awakens, nothing in this world can pull you back into darkness. You were created to be guided. You were created to be strengthened. You were created to carry a light that cannot be extinguished. So hold on to these lessons. Let them grow inside you. Let them reshape the way you see yourself and the way you walk through this world. Because the moment you remember who you truly are, your faith becomes unshakable. Thank you for watching. If this message touched your heart, stay connected. There is more light ahead.